Hello, darlings. Here I am. Let's see. It is currently December 25th, 2025, 7:59 p.m. as I write this. I did my eye makeup and I got super glam because I was like, you know what? I'll go out into the city tonight and figure out something to do. To figure out what I'll do to celebrate this Christmas day. And you know what? Did any of my plans work out? No. But it's okay. I've still had a perfectly good holiday. Only one burst of suicidal activity, which is great. I didn't try to execute anything, especially not execute myself. All I did was go, damn, fuck. Am I cooked? Is it over? Is it the end? Let me tell you, as long as you're still breathing, it's never the fucking end. And I am so grateful to be here today. And then you know what I did? I listened to fucking dance hall music, opened up my windows, enjoyed the sounds of the rainstorm going on outside, even though it kind of fucked up my plans because it's like, do I really? I was like, fuck no, I'm not taking public transit in a rainstorm. I'm gonna just stay my ass inside and just dance around, jump over the place, I want to cut my wrist, and sing that song, and flail and dance and do very cute showgirl makeup that actually looks even better in person. Oh, I can't. Can you see how sparkly my lips are? I put gold gloss on them. It's so cute. And you know what? I feel pretty happy. I feel so happy with my life that there's no place like home. And even as I sit here, I'm like, home is a place that I often try to escape from. It's why I've chosen bad partners. It's why I've had a lot of mental breakdowns. It's why, even as I record this, I have extreme back pain because my home is not the best home. But you know what? It's still a home I'd rather have than not have. In rainy weather like this, I am lucky enough to be sheltered by multiple blankets and a cute little blanket hoodie, like so. I am able to have all my stuff here, and I gave my all this winter. It's been a wonderful time being alive, even though I know there's multiple cups of biohazard in this bedroom, especially because I just got over a very, very, very bad case of food poisoning, because sometimes you get a buy one, get one free fried fish fillet sandwich from a mysterious restaurant on DoorDash, and then you drink a gallon of milk, or a half gallon. No amount of milk should have gone with that sandwich, and so there were dire consequences. But you know what? Back in the day, I used to live like on the top bunk as my grandmother was on the bottom bunk, shorting all the time, spitting out Jolly Ranchers and chili beans on the floor so much it would cement, my mom kicking in the door all the time just to insult me. And from a young age, I went through years and years of emotional abuse, physical abuse, psychological torment, weird, fucked up mind games at the hands of people who never wanted to take care of themselves and definitely could not take care of another person. Some parts I see them just doing what they can with the terrible trauma they got. Other parts, it's like, damn, bitch, you didn't have to do all that. My grandmother used to be the type where she would pick up a sock that was on my floor, one single sock left behind from trying to fold some clothes, and she would wipe some shit that trickled down her leg with it and then throw it in the garbage can for someone else to deal with. She never washed her hands, and she often left liquid shit on the side of every toilet seat, on walls, anywhere she touched, along refrigerator door handles, light switches, everywhere had her ick and muck on it. And yes, it was feces on her fingers. She never cared to clean it. She always reeked of a million cigarettes, too, because when she wasn't inside being disgusting, she was outside smoking cigarettes like it meant nothing. And if you're wondering, hey, Tamia, shouldn't you be more sympathetic to your incontinent grandmother? She's not even that fucking old. Like, I think she was like 60. It's one of those things where it's like, her, like, my mom confirmed my suspicion because later on back in the day, she did confirm that my grandmother was the type where if she would write on her list that, like, underneath all the nasty shit, like McRibs and a million boiled eggs and, like, what, like, just unhealthy shit. Like, nasty stuff. The forts were terrible smelling, by the way. She would then, like, ask for a bottle of diarrheal pills and, like, a bunch of Reese's cups or, like, candy that she shouldn't be eating as a diabetic. But my mom would get the shit anyway. Fuck it, why not? And then let's just say my grandmother could go through an entire bottle of diarrhea pills in like a day, and she would ask for it again the next day. So when my grandma had her slip and slide bowels just leaking all over the place, that was an intentional choice. She was a nasty bitch. Oh, she was terrible. And she liked to shit with the windows closed and leave the doors open after she did it so it would flood into the kitchen or the living room. And my mom was a punk ass bitch when it came to her mother, which I never supported. Like, come on now, you're like 40 something. Get a fucking grip, losers. God, they're all so pathetic. On the bright side, I'm not pathetic, and even though I sit in a bedroom full of my own biohazard, currently flooding up multiple boxes of empty Cheesecake Factory, I know that at least it's my own biohazard, and I have no one screaming at me, kicking in my doors, threatening me, trying to claw my eyes out, putting their vaginas on my face. Nothing of the sort. I get to just stay home and be at peace. And I had a wonderful morning. I woke up this morning and someone I met at my comedy showcase has been messaging me all day whenever they have a moment because they've just been waiting for me to wake up and because they love talking to me. And even then, in fact, I could see if they message me right now. Yeah, I could wait. It's better, I can read the response later. I don't want to distract myself. Oh, right, I have to tell you about how my comedy show went. So, I know you're probably like, hey, Tamiddy, weren't you planning like a huge comedy showcase for a while now? Yes, and for those who don't know the lore, I originally worked with this venue called Stay Gold, and I did this fucking open mic comedy show there like every fucking Monday. It was amazing. I got so many friends, I built community, I had so much fun and a blissful time and experience. And you want to know what happened? I remember I had been planning since the summer. I want to do a comedy show Christmas market. The year before, I remember niggas were telling me it wasn't possible and that they thought it wasn't doable, but everyone else was telling me it was amazing. So I was like, I'm gonna follow my instinct. I think this could be fun. And for this venue, I thought it's perfect. Huge outdoor patio, but they also have heaters and coverings, and also indoors is nice and cozy and spacious too. This could really work. We could do comedy on the inside, nice and festive and fun, but also have vendors outside selling their wares, selling their goods, all that, and we can have heaters and rain protective tarps and decorate it up really nice, and it could be such a blast and really put this place on the map, and it would be one of my greatest achievements to date in the comedy scene. But let's just say the venue owner is a fucking cunt. Stupid fucking cunt. I like just I would tell you all the tea I know, but I can't because even some people let's just say I got some insider information that makes me very much not miss that place. But let's just say what I was told was that they were having issues like financially and couldn't afford to do comedy fiscally every single week, blah blah blah. A fucking lie. I won't say too much more, but they disgust me, and so I don't associate with them anymore. But also, aside from that, I remember I was like, okay, it sucks that we can't do the open mic, but hey, if you really want to take it from like every single week to once a month, it's still one is better than none, and as long as we can still do the holiday showcase. But then let's just say they couldn't do the barest minimum of shit. Like even for the open mic, they couldn't advertise, they couldn't promote correctly. They were so fucking lame and stupid and idiotic a million times over and disrespectful. And then finally, I was done. Cause what really happened, the final straw for me personally was what was it again? Oh yeah, I was trying to get them to just confirm in writing that the comedy show, we had two dates settled, and I was gonna be having hundreds of vendors apply to sell their wares. I was gonna be organizing comedians and paying them all and figuring all of it out. The only thing I asked was that I could get in writing that they were not gonna cancel no matter what, and like actually say it like, oh yeah, no matter what, we will not cancel, all that. But he kept jumping words and trying to phrase it in a specific way that was saying anything but. Like, oh yeah, you can do your comedy show. Like, or, oh yeah, like he said it in like a specific way that I can't quite remember, but he wouldn't just say, yeah, under no circumstances would we dare cancel your comedy show and we promise 100% we won't cancel it. He just kept taking forever. Like, it took like almost a full fucking week to even get anywhere close to him saying, yeah, comedy can happen. Okay, comedy can happen, but can you promise to me that comedy won't get canceled? Comedy can happen. I know how this works, and I just had a gut feeling, and I was just like, I get the feeling. Like, I just thought to myself, no, I'm not gonna invest hundreds of dollars and effort and time and money into arranging a huge event for this venue, and they can't even reassure me. Because it's like, it's one thing to say the event can happen. It's another thing to say you won't cancel it. Because if you already were trying to cancel our open mic because you wanted to possibly, like, even though it was our biggest fucking moneymaker for your venue, you wanted to cancel it, allegedly, what they told me, which I later on found out was a fucking lie, because you want to claim that, like, they made an excuse about, like, how they couldn't afford to do it and like to keep doing comedy and that they needed to free up their Mondays so that other venues can perform at their space. And it's like, okay, so, but I've seen it. Like, I've seen them say, hey, we got this big band from the UK that has a huge following and should have huge amounts of people. They're gonna flood and come this Friday. And then come that Friday, no one shows up. Because it turns out that band's popular in the UK, but they're not popular in my fucking city. So I'm just like, anyway, I think you get my point. Let's just say, eventually I just was like, this man is pissing me off so much. Let me just go ahead and I just sent him a little message like, okay, well, I haven't gotten it in official writing yet, so I'll just go ahead and like get everything together as if the show won't be canceled on a whim, and I'll take what you've sent me so far as a confirmation of that itself. Thank you. And then he tried to send me a threat. He was like, Tam, I'm gonna block you in a second if you don't stop. I said you can do it. No, yeah, there's a difference between saying I can do it and saying you won't cancel it. Because I didn't need, because imagine if I booked fucking huge comedians who have been on Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, The Cops, Punchline, all that, just for him to be like, hey, Tamiddy, we actually have to cancel because this band called fucking Shoegaze or fucking Army Knife Picker from fucking Dublin is coming and we don't want to lose the money. Like, no, fuck you. I'm not risking that. No, it's disrespectful to everyone involved. Like, so either way, let's just say they tried to threaten to block me. And they also tried to be like, also, I'm just going to decorate the place however I want to. I don't need your assistance or you to be there. So we'll just do whatever I want. We're going to keep it simple, just simple string lights. And it's like, oh, so you've known about this event since like August. And you know I meant it to be a huge, festive, wonderful, beautiful event. You know, very Christmassy. And it's like, now you want to cut corners to make it just dingy? Like, it's called Stay Gold, and you want to barely hit bronze, bitch, in terms of decor and fun and festivities. And now you want to start like, yeah, like either way. Let's just say I was like, I'm not taking no fucking disrespect. This is too much for me. I'm finding another venue, and I was depressed as fuck about that. But you know what happened? Yeah, I got like maybe like a week or so later, I was on the roster of this comedy show because I was asked to be the DJ and the hype man. And we had so much fun, and I recorded a bunch of clips there, and I befriended the venue owner, and we got tipsy together. And then by chance, at another comedy show, I won free tickets to Of Monsters and Men. So I was like, hey, you seem hella cool. Hey, do you want to come to this concert with me? It's going to happen in like a few days. They said, absolutely. We went to that concert together. We turned up. And then they said, oh, by the way, Friendsgiving is tomorrow. So if you want to come, feel free. And it was at the exact same venue. Not Staggled, by the way. Just to care, like, let's say it's called the Status Quo is called the name of the venue. Like, let's make up a name. So we went to the Status Quo. So, in case you're confused, because I know I have a timeline of events, let's just say Stay Gold ended. I was DJ at the Status Quo for a comedy show, made friends with the venue owner, Corey. Me and Corey went to Monsters and Men like a few days later, and then the next day I went back to the Status Quo for a Friendsgiving that Corey was throwing, and I was like, oh, this sounds fucking great. Hell yeah. And I made sure I was like, it was so funny. I showed up glam. I did my makeup similar to this, and I made sure my lips were extra rosy. I had a nice little white silky wig on, the cutest little like push-up bra on, waist snatching outfit with red and black and gold on it. Absolutely done. Cute earrings, great energy. I brought fucking 16% ABV strawberry wine because I know I was like, but I also bought like fucking I think it was pomegranate apple cider because I was like, I want people who are sober to have an option, but I want people who, if they want to get turned, like, if I'm going to be sharing wine with all, like, what could be like 20, 50 people, I want even the littlest bit to get them turned as fuck. Let's do that. And it worked. I had people calling me the hostess with the mostest, and I thought to myself, I could say, oh, thank you, but I learned from Japanese and Chinese soap operas that I've been binging lately. I was like, you know what? I like let me I I kind of channeled the energy of the compliment and funneled it towards Corey. I was like, "Oh, please, we should give thanks to Corey because if Corey wasn't doing all this, I wouldn't even have a chance to be vibing like this. Like, thank you, Corey, for running this event, and thank you for the compliment, though." And it worked. And Corey was just like, "Yeah, yeah," and Corey was turned. And then Friendsgiving was such a hit. We had like 55 people came through, and like most of them knew my name. I remembered everyone's name. They loved me by the end of that event. Like they were obsessed with me. I made so many new friends and connections. It was lovely as fuck. I was getting invited to all these places. It was great. And I helped clean up and stay towards the end, but almost towards the end of the event, me, Corey, and this other person were talking, and I was just venting about shit with my venue. Also, I think, yeah, I forgot to mention something important. I also got terrible news that my ex comedy buddy, who used to be the host for Stay Gold, I hired them as the host. They basically DM'd me, like, I forget how long it was. It was like some time had passed. But this asshole eventually DM'd me some shit like, I'm gonna get Stay Gold running again. I wanna have the venue. I just don't think the owner wants anything to do with you. And like, and he just sent some like shitty ass, snarky green tea bitch ass messages. And I was like, fuck you. I told him to kill himself immediately. I made that clear. Cause it's like, don't fucking, don't disrespect me. You're being fucking disrespectful. I'll put it this way. And if you're wondering why that's disrespectful, I'll put it like this. Imagine you have had a comedy buddy all year that's seen you through your highs and your lows, and you in contact with them because of a situation where your ex comedy buddy breaks your fucking phone because they're a dementia riddled fucking Ozempic guzzling fucking stupid bitch. Fuck you, suck my dick. Two. Sorry, I had to. The smell of vomit in here is terrible. Anyway, but as I was saying, so with this nigga, if I in contact with you and you in contact with me for like a month or so straight because you broke my fucking phone, number one, and number two, you decide to go, what was it? Oh yeah, you offer to split profits from any event we work together 50-50 just to be the type of nigga that's like, hey, we made almost $40 tonight, and you give me like at maximum like a $10 bill. And it's like, what about 50-50? And then he tried to gaslight me, like, no, I don't think I ever said that. No, nope, never, nope. Except you could tell in his eyes that he knew, like, you could see in his eyes that he knew he owed me 50 bucks. He just didn't want me to talk about it. And the tantrum that followed from him, I was just gonna stay silent and ignore it or whatever. But anyway, let's just say, because of those two things, we dropped contact for about a month. And we had our events separately, and I was being peaceful, and I wasn't telling anyone why we ended contact and all that. But once that nigga had me fucked up, because it's like, okay, so I'll put it this way. If you hear about me cutting ties with Stay Gold, the venue, and then your response is not to be like, oh, Tam has been a long-term friend of mine. I care for her a lot. I want to keep her safe. I want to keep her happy. I bet she's really going through it. This was her magnum opus. This was her baby. Let me check in and ask how she's doing or see how she's feeling. He didn't do any of that. He didn't even wait for the fucking, like, I'm glad I waited before telling the news. Oh my god. But still, let's just say he didn't even wait for Stagold's fucking corpse to run cold before he tried to seize the opportunity. He tried to usurp that room. And now he's running it, and I have no fucking care in the world about him. But it's just like, I'll put it this way. If you know someone you care about and have known for quite a long time is going through it, and your response is to think of how to take the opportunity from their hands and to take the room they built so powerfully for your own desires and needs, you disgusting fucking cunt, and you don't check in on your friend. You don't check in on me. You know I'm suffering and groveling and having a terrible, miserable time and going through it, and you decide to try to sneak behind my back to take what used to be mine for your own glory. And sometimes I think to myself, am I tripping for being mad about this? But basically, everyone who I've talked to about the situation has been like, no, he stole your room. It's entirely fine to be mad about that. He stole your room. He didn't care about you. He didn't care how you were feeling. Didn't do a single thing. He snuck behind your fucking back. Simple as that. And he knew that would hurt you. And he did it without a single fucking care. Because he wants to build clout off of what you've already achieved. He wants to take your used to be clout and reframe it as his own. You know, like, ew. There's a, like, it's like, imagine if I leave, if I'm a queen and I run a fucking kingdom. Actually, you know what? Here's a metaphor for those who are manga or manhwa fans. If you've heard of the web series The Remarried Empress, you know how uh Navier was getting mad because Rashta was trying to fuck Navier's husband, and eventually she was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna leave this shitty ass kingdom because I don't want to be empress of a kingdom that doesn't respect me. and an emperor that doesn't love me. And then Navier leaves. And then the side chick, Rashta, the nasty bitch, she's like, woohoo, I get to be queen now and this kingdom's mine. And she immediately, like, and then she tries to keep finding ways to shit on Navier and mock Navier and try to make herself seem better than Navier, as she now has Navier's old shitty kingdom. And try, but she also then keeps fucking up the space that she now claimed, and no one likes her as much. That's kind of this thing between me and my ex-comedy buddy. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, you usurped a throne, and you're trying to act like you've always been the one to make it big. As if I built this fucking kingdom, bitch. But you know what? You can have it, because I'm off to better things. And I remember when it ended. When Stagel ended, I said I was off to better things. Oh, and I forgot to mention another thing that my ex-comedy buddy did, but he tried to basically act like he was doing me a favor, and he was like, if you, maybe months down the line, you can DJ here, you know, and then I can give you maybe like 1/3 from the bar, but no, you can't have any drinks or any food. And it's like, oh, that's even less. So it's like, what part of that's appealing? Because when we used to work on shows together, I used to, some weeks, like, oh, don't get me started. Let's just say, if you knew the original deals me and him had cut before, you would have known how big a scam that was. Because I remember, fuck it, earlier in the year, it used to be, hey, if you work with me on any showcase, I'll get you 2 drinks and $15. And then as time has gone on, that deal, like, has totally fucking dwindled, and I stopped relying on him for, like, and then eventually me and Staygold had a deal where it's like, okay, Tamiddy, yeah, we love you so much, we'll give you, like, a free Cubano sandwich on the house, free Red Bull or drink, hey, even more drinks just because we like you so much, and also 10% from the bar, and you do your tip bucket. And it's like, hell yeah, that sounds fucking neat to me. Hell yeah. But you know what? Like, so, and also, so let me, and also, mind you, I was gonna split the fucking 50, like, I was gonna split the 10% from the bar with my ex-comedy buddy. Let's not talk about it too much. This, like, just fuck him. Let's just say he offered me a deal way too easy to refuse. It's like, why would I come back to a place that doesn't like me and doesn't want me there just to be your underling? Like, oh, okay, the ashes of the place I built up myself. Your underling now doing the DJ music as you botched the place and run everything but 10 times worse, and as people would probably mock me for going from being the producer to your underling as if I did something fucked up, when in reality it's the room that's fucked up. And then what? What would be the goal? Like, and then it's like, oh, okay, so no drinks, no food, no $15, and like it's just like, oh, maybe you could get 1/3 from the bar, which is, it's like, that's a special slap in the face. And if you don't get it, then you just ain't got it by now. But let's just say that would be like if I knew someone was used to getting like amazing amounts of gold, and then I offered them fucking silver. It's like, nah, bitch, I'm not staying silver, it's called stay gold. But fuck you, I just kind of realized, I was like, I am what's gold. Look at my eyes, I'm what's gold. That venue, not even bronze. I'm good. So I moved on. And if you're wondering, so back to what I was saying. Me, Corey, and this other person were talking, and I was talking and lamenting about my issues, like, oh yeah, my old venue shut down, and I have to move on, and blah, blah, blah. And I really was looking forward to this Christmas holiday showcase, and I really hate that I'm letting people down, and I don't know. And and then I realized, I was like, wait a minute, Corey's the fucking venue manager of, what's the name of the place I just said? Of the new of this place. I forget what the fake name I've made for this venue is, but the new venue. And you know what happened? I got the new venue. And they were on board, and they, like, Staygold was also trying to do shit with me where they were like, oh, just so you know, I know we said you could, like, run the door and get money from a show here, but you couldn't actually deny anyone entry if they didn't want to pay. Like, if it was a DoorDash or just a random person, or if they wanted to buy food, you let them in for free no matter what. You would just have to run your tip bucket. It's like, oh, that's way different than what you were saying months ago, acting like we could make a huge turnout and profit off of the door, but okay. But the new venue was like, hey, just so you know, we'll do like a 60-40 split. You get the 60. Whatever tickets you sell online for money, whatever prices you set, you can. And just so you know, we've had sold out shows even with $25 tickets. So whatever you do, we trust you. And it was amazing. And if you're wondering how the event went, let's just say I planned for it for months, 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 months. I had a dress I was sewing, wig I was making. I had a wig that I put tinsel on all over. So much was going on. And for those who are curious what the wig looks like, if you check my post history on here, you'll find it. But like, this is what really got fucked up. So literally the day of the event, Like, I remember I stayed up until like 8 a.m. working on the wig, and I looked at my beautiful Christmas tree wig on its fucking stand in the corner of my room, glowing amongst the dark fucking night sky outside. Huge star on top that's glistening, golden and bright, golden red tinsel and the fucking nice green flowy locks of it. And I decorated a bunch of presents with bows and put them all around, and some extra spare fabric. I made a little wreath around it, and it's like, it was so fucking cute. And I was so happy, and I was like, I get the feeling it's all gonna work out. First thing in the morning when I woke up around like 11, 12, I went out, I got a walk, I organized all the little mini presents I was going to give for free to the audience on the house. I went to Lush the night before and got as many free samples as I could so that everybody could get like a free body wash, moisturizer, face wash, something nice. I had Bluetooth speakers for the shower I didn't need, and I gave them out to the fucking residents. I had edibles. I don't do fucking drugs. I just got gifted edibles earlier this year at a comedy show I tagged along to, and let me just say, like, I had so much in store. I had like 4 fucking massive bags of marshmallows in my room, so much Swiss Miss it could feed 70 people, a bunch of umbrella, gallons of milk. I got a fucking wok and so many utensils, and I was stressing my ass off, but I was happy. And then, right as I was about to get in the shower and about to text my ride, one of the comedians, to come pick me up, another comedian hits me up and he's like, "Hey, did you hear about that blackout? There's a citywide blackout in San Francisco right now. You might want to look into that to see if the event can still go on, like if the venue's affected." I felt my blood run cold. All my veins in my fucking arms were just simultaneously like on fire and fucking freezing. And in my spiritual senses, I was like, I already had a feeling something bad was gonna happen. It like then again, I always have a feeling something bad's gonna happen. I just never know what. And sometimes I think to myself, okay, is it just my guts fucked up and I'm schizophrenic or whatever, and I got mental health issues? Is it just because, like, is it just because I'm drinking way too much alcohol and energy drinks to do all sorts of complex planning and advertising and design for this fucking show? Like, what's the deal? You want to know what happened? Sorry, I just started daydreaming a bit. Sorry, I just also got disgusted thinking about a certain someone. Because I remember when me and the last guy I was with, when his ex got in that car crash and it kind of fucked up what was going to be a good evening for us, we both had a simultaneous, like, weird, surreal feeling of like something really bad's going to happen. And we don't know what, but let's save it while we can. And things went so bad, and it's a shame that things went poorly with him, but it's okay. I won't think about him anymore. I'm finally on the other side of that, at least I think. Huh. Damn, I'm sad about it a little bit, but it's okay. But and plenty of other times, like even with Stay Gold, I had a feeling something bad was gonna happen with them, and it did. And then for the new fucking showcase, I was like, I had a feeling something bad was happen, but I didn't know what. Do you know how, like, as someone who has a documented history on here of going through amazing experiences and then having shit fuck up, like if I go to an amazing party, I can guarantee the next day no one will respond to any of my messages despite saying how much they love me. If I have an amazing romance, you can guarantee something will happen completely out of the blue in an astronomically terrible way to totally catch me off guard. If I start a project, watch as something will spill on it, something will rip, a machine I'm using will break, and I can't suddenly use it. Like, just something will randomly fuck up to stop me from fully succeeding and being happy, and I fucking hate it. But you know what? This time, I was nervous, but I was gonna persevere. But do you know how fucking angry I was to hear that right as I was about ready to leave my fucking house, a citywide fucking blackout occurs because out of fucking nowhere, a PG&E station sets on fucking fire and explodes and gets hundreds of thousands of people without fucking electricity for hours? And then the streets are also blocked by fucking Waymos. And then the streets are fucking flooded with Waymos that don't know what to do when all of the lights, like none of the street lights were working and the Waymos didn't know what to do, so they were blocking every road, so people were having trouble entering the city, leaving the city. Street lights were entirely blacked out, and the neighborhoods surrounding it were pretty damn dangerous. BART stations entirely shut down. Like people were getting stuck in tunnels. It was terrible. I didn't want to make it about me, but I have to admit, from my perspective, as someone who usually has shit out of nowhere fuck up right as things are going a little too well in her life, if her life starts getting a little bit too well, something needs to happen. Do you know how fucked up it was? Like, I'm the type of bitch where it's like, I can buy some fancy Japanese watercolors and be like, oh boy, I'm gonna break out of my depression through painting. And then within like a single day or two, a bunch of fruit flies that have spawned in my kitchen will somehow sneak into my bedroom and physically eat my fucking expensive $100 Japanese watercolors. I have a million stories. So you can imagine how fucking pissed I was and how much I was shaking my fists at the higher powers above because I had prayed to them for ages, months, left offerings, all that shit. And you mean to fucking tell me that the second like, I sold hella tickets, we had a good revenue going, sold so many tickets, good revenue, good money. People were really excited and festive and dressed up for it. And you mean to tell me that, like, maybe like a citywide fucking blackout, like the fucking apocalypse is happening? I was so angry. I actually almost physically, I was like, I was so close. I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it tonight. Tonight's the night I smash my head in with a walk. Tonight's the night I finally just do what needs to be done. And if you're like, what do you think needs to be done? You know what I mean by that. I was gonna take myself out the fucking game. And if you're wondering, do I have a gun? I plead the fifth. But it's like, I'm just saying, I was like, oh, now I could. I was like, just slice that shit open. Don't worry, I wouldn't do it. Or I was gonna, but I didn't. I didn't. I'm a little late. I remember I was in the fetal position for so long. I did hit up the venue manager though, and they said that they were going to check on the space, but that it was indeed affected by the blackout, and that maybe around like 6:40 they'd know if the lights would come on or not. But then, like literally seconds before they said that, they said, "Oh yeah, the lights should be back on around like 5:50," and then they said, "Never mind, 6:40. Just got an update as we speak." And so it's like, okay, 20 minutes before showtime is when we'd know if we'd have power or not. Anyway, let's just say I was so scared. I was so scared I was gonna have to refund anybody and let down the comedians and let down myself. And it was the only thing I wanted all fucking winter. I cursed out my higher powers. I was about to start crying. I was about to start crashing out. But I did the smart thing. What I recall doing, I'm pretty sure it involved a fireball. I think I had a bottle of fireball, and I chugged that shit. And I also chugged a shit ton of Mountain Dew. And I decided I just hit up the comedy group chat, and I was like, because let's just say spiritually, even with my first night at Stay Gold, I remember with my first night at Stay Gold, random little things happened. Like, I don't know if I ever mentioned this on here, but okay, my first time ever doing Stay Gold, hours before the event, I was so nervous and was planning the perfect outfit, perfect everything, perfect music, all that. And then I had these perfect earrings that I personally designed with these yellow sapphires. And for some reason, I could not find a way to secure the gems inside of them, and I was freaking out. And then I would have some necklaces, sit them down, come back, one necklace would be missing. And it happened like 3 times in a row, and to the point where I was about to crash out. And then I remember the way I went to my corner store trying to see if they had maybe some pliers or some nail glue or something to fix at least one pair of earrings that mysteriously, as soon as I was getting ready to just be secure that they were going to be the ones I would wear tonight, the gem popped out. And I remember the way I was at the corner store, and an old lady who looked eerily like me, she grabbed me by the hands and said, "Baby, baby, stop shaking." And I didn't even realize that I was shaking my arms like this from pure anxiety. And she held my hands and said, "Baby, stop shaking. You're okay. You're good. Breathe with me." And she and the other guy, the guy working there, said, "It doesn't need to be perfect. Maybe this is a sign that not everything has to go perfectly perfect for the show to go on. Like, not everything has to work out." And it's like, okay, the venue isn't doing the best job at promotion and they're stalling with it. I was getting like little snarky remarks or small doubts from people. I wasn't getting as much hype or as much like positivity as I wanted from my local scene. A lot of stuff. And like the earrings, I wanted to at least look like the most glamorous I could. And I was so frustrated because I had the cutest outfit, and I was so mad that I couldn't even have a single pair of earrings that could match my outfit. But you know what? I took some breaths and I reminded myself, whatever happens tonight, even if it goes poorly, I still fucking did it. I produced an open mic and I'm excited for it. And then guess what? The night, like, even when I was at the event, one of the little yellow sapphire earrings spontaneously broke and shattered on the ground right before showtime. I picked that shit up, put it in my purse, and everything else still went great. I tried to give out gifts to the audience, like Bluetooth speakers and shit. Funny enough, no one gave a shit, so I just dished the idea entirely and was like, okay, fuck it, just comedy. And the event went so amazingly, and I remember that the night was so euphoric that me, my comedy buddy, and a few of our friends, we went out for a celebration drink and some dancing. It was an amazing, lovely night. So beautiful. Ah, wonderful times. It's still a beautiful memory that I will remember for the rest of my life, is us going to the saloon in San Francisco, and me, like, oh my god, I had so many drinks. I even had drinks the bartender accidentally made. Like, the bartender made a Red Bull whiskey back then, and she accidentally poured like a huge damn near triple shot of vodka. And when we were like, hey, who's this for, she said, fuck it, I think it was for you, did you not order that? We said no. She said you could have it. And so I had that, and like, oh my god, I'll put it this way, there's videos I still have to post of me jamming hella hard with my stomach hanging out of my crop top and my skirt, as I'm just jamming super hard with the lead bassist and guitarist on stage, dancing in the audience, getting hella people to move and groove. No one was dancing before I danced, and when I got on the floor hitting some sick fucking moves to these dudes playing some fucking dun 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 dun, like that type of like country-ish music, I was busting moves so hard and like doing all types of shit and belly dancing and all that shit. I was doing any dance I could think of. I had the whole dance floor moving and going crazy. It was amazing. A beautiful night for the ages. Beautiful. Isn't it sad how some of our best memories can have people who we no longer will see again? It's okay. God bless and amen. I'm grateful that it happened though. And grateful that I left that friendship when it stopped serving me. But as I was saying, so like I kind of so like back to what I was saying about present day, the showcase, the Christmas comedy showcase on like the 20th, 21st. I just kind of thought to myself, maybe this is a test from the universe and my higher powers, because they know I'm a perfectionist. They know I'm working too hard. They want to see how hungry I am and how badly I want it. Am I going to give up at the first disappointment? What about the first 15 disappointments? What about a huge risk? Will I still have a show goes on mentality? And let's just say I texted the group chat, the comedians were like, hey, you know what? I got a bunch of flashlights I can bring. The venue, like, they might have some candles or something, and we can amplify our voices. We don't need a speaker. It's a small enough space, but it's still a large room. I think we could do well with acoustics. I think we should give it a shot. And, like, basically almost every single comedian was like, yeah, fuck it, let's give it a shot. Give it a shot. And so I sent out a big text blast to every single person, and like, and I was so distraught because it's like originally I had to text hella like fucking 18 different people like th- there's a blackout, I don't know if the event can go on. But I was so happy to be able to remessage all of them and be like, thank fucking god, actually the event will still go on, but it's gonna start at like 8 now, not 7. And I sent out the email and text blast, and then I showered, got dolled up for my event, put on my Christmas wig, and even then, when a ribbon fell off, I toughed it out. When another box fell off, toughed it out. When my ponytail was shifting to the side, toughed it out. And I showed up, and when I got there, the room was actually surprisingly mostly packed with people. People who decided that amidst a blackout, traffic issues, all that shit, so much that they would still sit in the dark fucking venue just to see my showcase happen. And that made me so happy. And then as time went on, like, I'll put it this way. Were people a little antsy? Yeah, God knows how long some of them were waiting for, but I decided, okay, I had to leave the walk at home, and I can't make like 3 different types of like hot chocolate, like boozy, Swiss Miss, and umbrella. But you know what? I got a bottle of Bailey's, I got a bunch of plastic cups, and for the sober people, I got a shit ton of vanilla marshmallows if they want some. And so you know what I did? I went around that room with a few of my homies who I invited to the event, and we made sure every person in that room, if they got a shot of Bailey's, and if they didn't get a shot of Bailey's, they got marshmallows. The whole room was smiling and feeling a lot better by that. They were like, "Holy shit, vanilla marshmallows! I've never seen some that are square shaped. I got fucking pillow shaped marshmallows. They're square and rectangular because they're meant for s'mores. It's so fucking cute, dude." And like everyone started smiling and having a good time. We set up the video cameras. I got a videographer last minute who's super fucking cool. And next thing you know, we delayed the start a bit because people actually started socializing and mingling more because of how much fun they were having. But around 8:20, I was like, okay, let's get this on the road. And I started off the show. I had so much confidence on the stage that was actually surprising for me, and a lot of charm and charisma, and almost every single comedian did well. Did some people fuck up? Yes, I'll put it this way. I told a guy whose first ever comedy showcase it was, and he was so grateful for that. I told him, I want to see you perform without your puppet. I think you do amazing without your puppet. I want you to guess what this nigga pulled out halfway through his fucking set. A puppet. Did he do jokes that were funny with it? No. But towards the end, the puppet said I was gorgeous and beautiful, and it's like, fuck it. Flattery gets you everywhere. I'll forgive you. Thank you. Mwah. Mwah. Thank you, little Vladimir the puppet. Let's see, who else pissed me off? Some comedians have attitude problems. An amusing thing is, I also made it so that every comedian gets a gift the second they get off stage. And everyone kept pulling out lotions, and I was like, "There's really good stuff in here. Please, if it feels like a lotion, don't grab it." And then someone else would get like everyone else was pulling out the small little circles from Lush, and then finally someone digs in, and they get like a fucking face primer spray, and it's like, God damn it. Or someone would put out a lotion. Two people got Bluetooth speakers. God bless. But I'll put it this way. It was funny because towards the end of the event, finally, the host of the event, he pulled out a fucking edible. And I was the one to pull out a bottle of gin. And I was like, thank you, you motherfuckers. I had 5 edibles in here. None of you pulled any of them. There are 7 of you. And like, I laughed about it. It was so fucking funny. Because they were like, okay, every comedian keeps getting lotions. I wanted to prove it's like I'm not just giving out lotions. Y'all niggas just have terrible aim. Damn, now I really want a marshmallow. These marshmallows are hella good, damn. It was so funny. Oh, the host of my event, he kind of fucked up at some point because the one black guy we had on the roster, technically African, he said, now, like the comedian joked, now this is one big lump of coal that I can't fit in any stocking. Give it up for Lulu. And then the whole room was like, you can't be talking like that, white baby. Like the whole room was like, did he really say that about the only very, very, very beautiful dark skinned man in this room? Also, the comedian who bought out a puppet personally gave Lulu in the middle of his set a big fucking huge ginormous box of double XL Magnum condoms. And I thought to myself, is this undertones for racism, or is he just saying that because Lulu is extremely unnaturally handsome and attractive and 6'5"? Actually 6'7". He should be a trash star. Why are you not in the NBA, nigga? Why are you in comedy? I'm just saying, but it's okay. And I mean that in the least racist way possible. Like, you should be a supermodel, bro. You're gorgeous. Why are you a comedian? Then again, I don't know. Studying your walk as a model is hard, so I get it. But still. Mm, lovely, man. I still have to reprimand some of those but, you know, allegedly Puppet Guy, that was an agreed on inside joke before the show, so. But for the other one, the host of my event, that was fucked up. And I still have to talk to him about that. But let's just say Lulu was the worst, actually. I was so upset because there's a thing in the scene around here where it's like, I'll put it this way, a lot of black men have anger issues in general. It's a factor to why I don't really date black guys, no offense. Like, it is. I'm sorry, it's like misogyny is too potent and bad. You, like, a lot, we could talk about this if you want, but don't get mad at me. Let's just say, in the scene, people have temperaments and issues and more, and it's like, I'll put it this way, I didn't want it to just be a lineup full of like white dudes, and I thought to myself, hell no, especially not when there's actually good black talent. But who's a good black talent who also doesn't have an attitude problem and can be guaranteed professional and also has a good following so he can help bring in an audience? Lulu. And I bought him Lulu. What did Lulu bring? No audience, didn't promote worth a damn. Didn't dress festive. He just showed up in a white fucking hoodie with white shoes and black pants. Like, and then, like, I think he was already in a shitty mood before he arrived anyway, which makes sense. Like, blackouts, like, if the venue wasn't exactly in the best neighborhood and it's dark as fuck, no streetlights working for, like, effective. But the way he got on stage and he just kind of sat in a chair and slumped and stared at the ceiling, and he wasn't saying jokes, he just said random sentences. And he even insulted a few people on stage. Not in a funny roast way. It was just like the whole energy was just like someone who didn't want to be here. But bet your ass he was the first to try to send me his Venmo. And bet your ass I'm not booking him on shit again. That was terrible, my nigga. It's like, wow. He even insulted me on the lineup. He was like, wow, you couldn't get no women. Like a single woman, and I'm the only black guy here. And it's like he just didn't say a single joke, and he even insulted a guy in the audience for trying to record his set or record clips of him, which is so fucking weird. It's like, nigga, there are like three different people with cameras in this room actively recording your set. Why are you mad at a guy sitting front row because he wants to record a joke he thought was funny during your set? And from audition. Anyway, fuck that guy. I had a gut feeling about him too, but I thought to myself, okay, is it just internalized racism and a terrible traumatic lifetime around black men that is affecting my vision? Because no, Lulu of all people wouldn't act that way, and then Lulu acted worse than expected. And that pisses me off. Anyway, and then everyone else did actually pretty good. Like the person who I thought was going to be an issue, like this one random white guy who had a little bit of an attitude to the point where I had to tell him, don't be rude to me. Don't get mad at me. Because I asked him politely if he wouldn't mind recording a quick little clip around the room of the huge audience turnout. Just to be nice, please, if he could. And he had an attitude with me. And I told him not to, and he already pissed me off. But my gut was telling me to put him on before Lulu. So I obeyed that feeling, and let me just say, Tyler was so fucking good. Tyler performed his ass off. You could tell he didn't have jokes prepared, but he tried. Lulu did not try worth a fucking damn. Lulu was doing the equivalent of what, like, he just, if you were there, in fact, I have the video clips to prove it, but like, Tyler actually was like, you could tell he was winging it, but he still had a vague idea of what jokes to say, what to talk about, and was still trying to do crowd work and heavy on the charisma, and he actually made people laugh their ass off. He got some of the biggest laughs in the room that fucking night. He did great. He did great. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, you can tell he's bullshitting, but by god damn it, somehow he's making it work. Lulu, on the other hand, was just like, anyway, I don't know, this venue looks weird. I don't know. Like, I liked it better with the lights off. Anyway, yeah. So I'm the only black guy. Yeah. And it's like, and just zero jokes. Yeah, the single jokes. I was so pissed. Because it's like, you want to end a show on a great note, not have your headliner be the weakest link. So it's like, damn it, I really didn't want you to live up to the fucking stereotype. But I guess it's like, okay. I know other white twinks who would have probably tried a lot harder than you did with the fucking opportunity. It also taught me a valuable lesson. Just because someone has a little bit of clout or stage time doesn't mean they got it through ethical means or talent. And just because someone's been funny and amazing at venues before doesn't mean they're going to respect your time, your venue, and put in effort with you. Like, fuck him. Because of that, yeah, I'm disgusted. I'm never working with him again, and just, like, I can't stress enough. Like, it also was funny because I had this guy who was on Jimmy fucking Kimmel, who I almost put on the lineup, but I didn't know how much he wanted to be paid, and also he has a history of an attitude problem. In fact, I can name like hella different black guys who I probably would have been happy to put on the roster if they did not have a history of being rude to women and having attitude problems and being drama queens, unprovoked. And I thought to myself, Lulu's the sweetest little pumpkin peach pie. He would never do shit. But nope, he was just as fucking rancid as a peach pie would fucking taste. Just, ugh. So fuck that shit. Suck my dick, Lulu. He will get paid, and I will not talk to him again, but I have to admit, a part of me really doesn't want to pay him, but another part of me knows, hey, if I don't pay him, I'm going to be like my ex-comedy buddy. And just because a lot of these comedians have done shit over the evening to piss me off, whether they didn't dress festive enough, or they didn't come prepared despite knowing about the show for weeks in advance. Meanwhile, I was losing sleep endlessly left and right trying to make it a hit, and these niggas couldn't even wear the color red or green, or bring a Santa hat, or like try, nigga. Like, you couldn't try. You knew about this for months. Ugh. Anyway, fucking bitches. But it's okay. I'll PayPal these assholes and I'll resist the urge to call them assholes because I want to be known as the producer who pays and who puts on a damn good show so that people will be fighting for slots with me. God bless and amen. And it was a beautiful experience. A lot of pain, a lot of pain, a lot of pain. So much pain. Kidney pain. Like, I literally had to lay down for like 3 days straight from the amount of full body pain. Inflammation, liver failure, kidney failure, random vagina pain. I don't know where that came from. I don't get laid. Heart issues, lung issues, eye issues, headaches, migraines, just like random sore throat, random mucus buildup, all sorts of shit. I had to lie down for several days after that event, but I was still the happiest little chickadee around. And it's such a beautiful event, and I'm so happy, grateful, and abundantly blessed to have experienced it. And honestly, people have been really amazed because of that. People have been making it clear, like, do you know how hard it is to get people to come out for a show at all? Even if it's free, you can't get people to come out. If it's a paid show, it's hard as fuck to sell tickets that are even $5, $10. You sold tickets that were $20 fucking dollars each. And you almost sold out the fucking venue. If not for the blackout, you probably would have sold out that entire place. It had the room packed, even more packed than it was. But a blackout happened, and people still showed up. And everyone still, about everyone still performed amazingly. And people have been telling me, they've been like putting on a show during a citywide blackout with traffic issues, no lights on and everything, and still having people show up, still having people give praise and reviews and all that. Holy shit, you did amazing. And it was so sweet. And after the event, me and other comedians and the videographer were like tossing these marshmallows at each other, like a little makeshift snowball fight. And I got this amazing trick shot video of them like nailing it right into my mouth. It was so fucking impressive. And then I also, one second. Oh, this is so fucking good. Lovely ass. I also, I also then had myself an amazing time. Like, oh yeah, I went around and gave every single person in the audience a gift. So some of them got really good like body washes, like rose scented body wash, chocolate scented, Mexican hot chocolate scented lotions, body washes, and skincare, all sorts of good stuff. They got edibles, they got speakers, they got hair primers, all that. And I took a group photo too, but the only one missing from it is Lulu, because Lulu, being the dick that he is, he dipped before the show even ended and he abandoned the little lotion he took out of the bag, like next to his chair, and just fucking dipped like way too fast. And it really pissed me off. Jesus. But the way this lady, I mean, but we have a group photo and it's amazing and I love it so much. And every single person was happy, and I also, yeah, I invited a bunch of people off of so many different platforms. And let me just say, there's no better feeling than going home after an event and you got like four new homies, one from Reddit, one that you met at a previous holiday party who just really likes you, a homegirl who you've been friends with for about 3 weeks now, and yourself. And maybe, and I forget if there's one. I think it was just me. But I have my own best friend, so that counts. Fucking four people. You got four of your best lovers, and four of your best friends with you, walking down the street, and they both were like carrying their bags. I mean, my bags for me to the car just to be extra sweet to me. And everyone was laughing, joking, all that. And I made so many friends that night. And it was a beautiful blessing. I even saw someone who I've known on Instagram for like 4 fucking years. They showed up with their homegirl and their sister. And they all said I had great energy and they loved the event so much. And they took video clips. It was so fucking sweet. I loved it. I'm so grateful. God bless me, man. I'm so happy. If not for the alcohol and Mountain Dew, I probably would remember more of that event, but I remember enough. And I have enough video clips of the whole thing that I'll be getting pretty soon. But I'm extremely happy. And what's so funny? Oh yeah, shit, we're an hour in. You know how I said someone has been messaging me all day? It's the videographer from the event. We met the same day. I made a post online like, hey, anyone down to record clips for this event? He was like, I'm down, and we almost didn't meet up, like for multiple reasons, but I was like, fuck it, here's the address, I can fill you up with some Baileys and hot cocoa, blah, blah, blah. And they met up and they were super sweet. And ever since that day, they've been messaging me a lot more. And I'm really happy about it. And funny enough, as we speak, like they told me about all their connections to the New York City comedy circuit and all these showcases and theaters and how they work in tech and a bunch of wonderful things they've done. And it's very sweet to wake up this morning after passing out around like what 8 a.m. and wake up around 2 p.m. and just see like hella messages they sent me just because they're so happy to talk to me and they really like and they want to support me. They want to make like they love that I do comedy and just because I love comedy. But they're also like, hey, I want to see how big of a profit we can make, and you have great ideas and I have great ideas. Let's combine together. And they seem lovely. And now we've just been chit chatting about like what we could do for a great Valentine's Day show, which would be absolutely amazing. Hmm. So I was just admiring myself real quick. We'll never apologize for admiring yourself. Oh, but as I was saying, yeah, life feels great. And I was gonna go out tonight and go out to a bar with some comedians I know, but it started raining. But even then, it's like, fuck them. I don't need them to make myself happy. I stayed inside, listened to dance hall music. Oh, I still make one, the needle pie on my. Oh, excuse me. And I'm eating too many marshmallows and relaxing and being happy. And that's awesome. Oh, it's cold as fuck though. And it's actually quite early. It's only 9 p.m. There might be a chance I could get my friends to go out drinking with me tonight, if I even feel like alcohol. But even then, just hanging out. Like hell. Also, after the comedy showcase, one of the dudes took me out for Chinese food. He's sweet. Shout out to Phil. He's interested in me romantically, but I like a man who blinks a little more. But it's okay. He's all right. Let's see. But yeah, I'm in a good mood. I think everything went actually perfectly. Isn't it funny how things can be imperfect, but then end up still perfect? And even better because it's like, hey, if it went, like, who knows? There's an alternate reality where it's like we all could have been there on time at 7, and we could have started early and done this and done that. But then certain, like, I even joked to people, it's like some of my friends, even though they knew the event was gonna start at 7, they were running on colored people time, which is fucking wild. But it's like, yeah, my Japanese homegirl, she wasn't gonna be able to make it out until like 8. Another friend of mine who's Latina, she wasn't gonna make it out until like 8, 8:30. And a bunch of people were just hitting me up like, hey, I might not be able to make it until like super late. And then lo and behold, the blackout helped because without the blackout, they would have missed the event and I probably would have been like, fuck these bitches. They said they were gonna come and they dared to try to come an hour late for no fucking reason, but everything still somehow freakishly worked out. Another comedian on the roster told me, yes, I remember when, yes, Bill, God bless Bill. Bill was the sweetest guy. He gave me $100 to help advertise the show and invest in whatever I needed to make it a hit as much as possible. He was super sweet. One second. But, I reached out to Bill when it was originally going to be a showcase for Stay Gold. And I told Bill, like, hey, I think Stay Gold is actually going to end soon, so I don't know if we can do a showcase there, but I'll keep you updated. This is actually heartbreaking for me. I'm sorry to disappoint you. And he said, think of the Chinese farmer parable, which means, like, imagine you're a Chinese farmer. And, like, so there's a parable where it's like a Chinese farmer, one of his favorite horses, his only horse, runs away. And his neighbors are like, oh, this is terrible. And he said, hey, maybe, maybe not. And the horse comes back, but it brings 7 horses with it. And they're like, oh my God, what amazing, auspicious luck you have. He said, maybe, maybe not. The farmer's son tries to mount one of the horses to try to tame it, and it throws him off, and he breaks his fucking leg. They're like, oh my God, you have such terrible luck. He said, hey, maybe, maybe not. And then the army comes by and said, hey, we're trying to draft only the healthiest, most in shape young men possible, but your son has a broken leg, so we can't have him along. So you could just keep your son, I guess. And then the neighbors are like, oh my God, what amazing luck you have. And then he's like, maybe, or maybe not. And I guess the lesson of that story is like, you never know when something bad could be good or something good could be bad. Like, just like how I dated a Jewish nigga this year who pissed me off, and then I dated a German nigga after him. And I know you're like, that sounds fucked up. I didn't plan for that. But guess what? I went from one baller to another baller. I went from a dude who bought me like a cute little cubic zirconia, fancy ass, like crystal diamondy necklace from Bloomingdale's to a nigga who got me a fucking citrine fucking gemstone bigger than my fucking forehead. And then even, and like, I'm just saying, things can work out in ways you didn't suspect. So, like, a million things went, like, it's like, okay, stay gold bills up, stay gold ends. And comedy nigga tries to take my spot and is being a dick about it. Oh, but then hey, I focus on being positive, focus on just making friends, finding community, finding a life outside of Stay Gold. Hey, look, this venue's super cool, and I'm friends with the owner now. Oh, wait, what if we threw it with the venue? And then everything worked out where now I have a shit ton of money to spread out against the comedians and put on more shows, and I get to be happy, and it feels great. And that's really important. Like, it's very, very vital to try your best in life and to stay positive because you never know. And I'll put it this way, if I were to stick with Stay Gold, I would have dealt with disrespectful venue, disrespectful bartender, fuck that guy, like everything about just a million, and I probably would have made way less money. But because I went with the new venue that isn't Stay Gold, I have respect, clout. Everyone there loves me, and they want to have me back as soon as possible for comedy shows. They want to have me as often as they can, really. Uh, and then I made a really, really big profit, and can probably make even more of a profit. And also, I have all these like amazing quality video clips I can edit to get. I can just do so much more with my brand than a fucking barbecue shack. Now it's like, okay, it's like a cute little barbecue shack where I built up a good fan base and following. That's cool, but fuck those niggas. What about like, or like, fuck the niggas because also stopped being friends with multiple people who went to that venue for a lot of reasons. But especially the good thing is me and who's the other one? Who's the other one? Oh, now my new venue is like full of like wealthy tech people who are just dying for community and something to do and will pay top dollar for it. And it's like, hell yeah, now I get to make a profit off of it. And I can buy more eyeliners like this. Hell yeah. Ah, super blessed, super happy. God bless and amen. And then on top of that, what else? I was gonna say something else. My migraine's kicking and I should probably have some water and some food. Whew, thank God I didn't take the alcohol tonight. I did not drink that bottle of gin. Thank God I stuck to just listening to Spice and fucking random African music. God bless, amen. And Caribbean music. Dancehall. Yaldum's killer Tish on the ball. Come and give it to all girls. I love that. I'm so sleepy. I'm really sleepy. It's only 9 p.m., but I have all my windows open. It's super cold, so that explains it. Anyway, love you all, and I'm just so grateful that it all worked out. Oh, and if you're wondering, hey, how's your comedy buddy doing? Like maybe a day or two after, they spontaneously decided that they wanted to restart Stay Gold on Mondays. And let me just say, the poster's uglier than you can ever fucking imagine. The second poster's uglier than you can ever imagine. I already know a huge list of things that they definitely did not get right and will never get right because he's an old fogey with dementia, so fuck him. Ozempic fueled dementia, of course, and Benadryl and coffee and no food. And then meanwhile, for me, like, oh, also they tried to do this thing where I'm pretty sure they saw photos of how well my event went. And then lo and behold, this asshole tried to be like, ooh, ooh, it's gonna be a Christmas themed open mic, costumes encouraged, dress festive. And it's like, oh, you're biting off of what I did. You're biting off of my idea because you saw it worked for me. How interesting. Loser. And like, it's also funny because I remember way back in the summer and like fall time, they were trying to be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do a Christmas showcase. I don't think I want to actually. I don't think it's for me because like I think I'm gonna be traveling to the Philippines and Thailand and blah blah blah. And he kept acting like he didn't want to do a Christmas show so bad and to find someone else and that he wouldn't want to do it. And isn't it funny how as soon as he tries to snatch my room and I start succeeding with my own Christmas showcase, suddenly he wants a Christmas showcase and he wants to stay for the holiday. Like it's like, no, nigga, what happened to you saying that you were too burnt out doing too much comedy and pulling yourself thin by doing too much comedy, and now you want to still, like the second you get some free time, you don't try to improve your life. You try to get more comedy. You try to steal my fucking room, you fucking asshole. He's a dick. But he's a failure, so that's that. So he's reaped what he's sown, and he still tries to watch me online and gets all sad about it. But that's not my fucking issue, bitch. Not my fucking issue. And I don't care about how his open mic went, but knowing him, I can't imagine it went very well. But I feel very good and very happy because it's like, hey, you know what? He can have my scraps. I'm out here feasting on a whole new life. Like, you know that 50 Cent song where it's like, I'm laughing straight to the bank with this ha 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 ha. I'm laughing straight to the bank. It's like, bitch, I got money now. I have money. I can go out for Korean fucking barbecue for like 4 hours and not give a shit about what the price on the check's gonna be. I was gonna do that today, but I was kind of lazy and I didn't want to take the bus all that far and shit. Like, hell no. But let me just say, like, it's such a blessing. It's like I got to lose dead weight. I got to prove that I can stand on my own 2 feet and do amazing things without needing him as a crutch. I truly outgrew him. And he proved to me that he is such a loser that he won't achieve any of his goals. Like, I'm just saying. Oh, like it's been documented on here for ages. All his bullshit. I want to just reaffirm this man was acting like he was so burnt out from comedy, wanted to quit, and that he couldn't do a Christmas show and was gonna be in Philippines or the Thailands by the holidays. Where's this nigga for the holidays? Still here in the weak ass area, in my weak ass city, trying to take a weak ass venue and snatch my ideas and be the great value weak ass version of them. And he's failing. So that works for me. And for me, I have money. I have a bunch of new beautiful friends who support me and want to support my comedy in ways that he probably never could going forward. And I feel so amazing blessed. I have new friends to contact and to bring into the new year with me. And most of them are autistic, and that is exactly what I fucking love. God bless autistic people. I love autistic people. And did I finish that big fancy Christmas dress that I bought thousands of rhinestones for? No, but it's okay. Fuck it, I could wear it next year. Did was my wig 100% perfect the entire night? No, but it was still fun and I loved it. Uh, like, did I get a huge reception off of the gifts originally that I bought for people? No, but later on I did. And I still got thanks and I still got praise and I got money and opportunity and abundance and I am not burnt out, at least not as much as you'd think. And I feel pretty good. And I'm actually around people who love, respect me, and would not sneak behind my back. So, amen. Love you so much. Get home safe. I'm gonna go sleep and eat food. Ooh, what should I eat? I wonder if Korean barbecue is still open. Hey. Love you so much. Take care of yourself. God bless and amen. Bye. Mwah. Bye. Oops.